Yo, what's going on YouTube? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you guys being here today. Today we're checking out the Left Banke Walk Away Renee. Now, we have checked out one song from the Left Banke before, so if you're new here, feel free to go back and dive in and check that one out. But let's go ahead and spin this one up. It comes off an album with a lot of songs, so if there's any on here that you guys know that you want to suggest from this group, let me know. She May Call You Up Tonight, Barterers and Their Wives, I Haven't Got the Nerve, Shadows Breaking Over My Head, Let Go of Your Girl, Evening Gown, I've Got Something on My Mind, What Do You Know, and Lazy Days. So I like to read those off just in case it charges the memory. Maybe it's been a while since you've heard this one, but Pretty Ballerina, there we go. It's right there. We've heard that one before, I believe it was. So let's go ahead and take a spin with Walk Away Renee. Appreciate you guys tuning in today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, check out the description. Consider becoming a member by hitting that join button. That's a great way to support the content. If you guys are enjoying the channel, let's go ahead and spin it. Here we go. Instantly. What does that sound?
Just walk away, Renee. You won't see me follow you back home. Now as the rain beats down upon my weary eyes, for me it cries. Your name and mine inside a heart upon a back home. The empty sidewalks on my block are not the same. You're not to blame.
Wow. Good song, very good song. My only gripe, man, the vocals, gosh, maybe it's the recording equipment of the time. It's really hard at times to hear the lyrics. I'm really like trying to tune in and listen, but they sound very grainy, very grainy on each other. I don't know how else to describe it, but it was really hard for me to pay attention to the lyrics, honestly. I was trying, but I loved the sound of the violin right here in the left ear. When I asked what's that sound, I don't know what, maybe that was still the violin. It just sounded different to me. I don't know. I couldn't pinpoint what I was listening to during like the musical break, the little solo, if you will. Guitar, so jangly, so fun. I don't know if it's a 12 string or not. I don't know what it is, but it sounds so nice in the right ear as well. So I enjoyed the guitar work. I like the story we were getting, but once again, I couldn't hear everything. I was just really trying, but couldn't completely stitch the story together. So I might take a little bit of a time and read the lyrics before I jump into the wiki on this one. But as far as just a sad, a good heartfelt sad song, like this sounds like a Walk Away Renee, sounds like it's the end of a relationship to split up. as much as I want to dive into the rest of that, I couldn't at the time, but I'm going to read the lyrics and then I'll hop us over into the wiki. All right, so as I was reading this, I see flute solo. Okay, so that was a flute solo that we were listening to there. But yeah, walk away, Renee. You won't see me follow you back home. I'm not gonna, be all over you. And you clearly want some distance. You don't want me to be with you. I got that, but my walk back home, it's not the same, and you're not to blame, right? So he's letting you know that, maybe it was him at fault and she didn't cause this. From deep inside, the tears that I'm forced to cry, from deep inside, the pain that I chose to hide, rain beats down on my weary eyes, for me it cries. So he says that your name and mine inside a heart upon a wall still finds a way to haunt me through, though they're so small. So as he's walking, you got to imagine, maybe somewhere they wrote their name. People used to carve their names in trees and stuff. So, something like that. They had a moment where they wrote their name. And that's one part that I really tried to listen to in the song, and I couldn't understand I thought he said a man inside a hall or something. I was like, wait, what's happening here? I couldn't really hear what was happening in the song, but that's what he says. So let's go ahead and dive into learn a little bit more, but that was a flute solo. Okay. So right here we got Walk Away Renee from the Left Banke, released in 1966, Baroque pop and psychedelic pop. Songwriters Michael Brown, Bob Kalili, and Tony Sassone. Maybe that's how you pronounce those ones, all right? So right here it says the song has been widely considered a quintessence of a Baroque pop genre. As musicians Marshall Crenshaw explains, there's something about Walk Away Renee that one of the most powerful songs I've ever heard, just in terms of provoking an emotional reaction, all right? So this one, I guess, kind of helped define that genre, that scene, maybe it sounds like. So Michael Brown has stated that the song is one of a number he wrote about Renee Fladen, later Fladen. So she is an American singer and vocal coach, the then girlfriend of Left Banke's bassist Tom Finn, and object of Brown's affection. Whoa, man, were you openly admitting that you were hitting on your band member's girl? Dang, man. She was associated with the band for a few weeks and was described as a free-spirited and tall blonde. Brown wrote it in 1 month after he met her. Walk Away Renee was one of a series of love songs that infatuated Brown wrote for his muse. Other works about her include the band's second hit, Pretty Ballerina, and She May Call You Up Tonight. After decades of obscurity, she was identified in 2001 as a noted singer vocal teacher. Dude, okay, let's see what Tom Finn has to say. A bunch of teens got an apartment together around Tin Pan Alley in Broadway area, and Renee lived there part-time when she was living with her mother. Most of the kids were like half runaways in those days, and there was a crash pad there, as we used to call it, I guess. I guess I brought her to the studio one day where Michael met her and fell in love with her. Brown says of the unrequited love that Renee, I was just sort of mythologically in love, if you know what I mean, without having evidence in fact or in deed, but I was as close as anybody could be to the real thing. So it does say it was his girlfriend, the then girlfriend of, dude, I gotta say, if I'm sharing a band with somebody, I'm the bassist and this is a singer, and I have the bassist meet my girlfriend, and he writes a song with her first name and Heartache, I'm going to be weirded out. I'm going to be like, what is going on here, dude? That's not all right, man. You know what I mean? I don't know. There's boundaries, and you don't necessarily write love songs about your friend's girlfriend. That's my take on it. That's really weird behavior, Michael Brown. All right. So appreciate you guys being here today. Things were different in the 60s from what I understand. So maybe it was a part of the free love thing, and it was cool to like love your friend's girlfriend. I don't know. All right, it's a different time. I gotta say, for me, it's weird behavior though. But appreciate you guys being here. Thank y'all for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, check out the description. Stay positive out there, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.